Hello and welcome to the wonderful world of Mindzai and, wait a minute. This isn't the store. Where am I? Well, we're doing something a little different today. Mindzai is all about celebrating all kinds of visual art, not just toys. And what art is more visual than my personal favorite medium, the motion picture? And I saw a movie so good, why, I have to talk about it with you. So, let's go over Dreamworks' latest gem, The Wild Robot. For those who don't know, The Wild Robot is about a domestic helper robot named
Rosum Unit 7134.
Or let's just call her Roz. Washed ashore during a shipment gone wrong, Roz activates in the middle of an island populated by wild animals. They don't take too kindly to this intruder, whose desperation to complete tasks go against their tried and true nature. Quite frankly, they call her a monster. But everything changes when Roz accidentally hatches a baby gosling, who immediately declares her his mother. As such, Roz is given a new task, one that she must override every bit of programming built into her to achieve. Raise a child. Now, Roz and a reluctant fox named Fink must help this runt learn to fly and migrate before winter. This film is directed by Chris Sanders, which was an immediate draw for me the second this film was announced. He is the director and writer for Lilo & Stitch and How to Train Your Dragon, both amazing films about finding family with unorthodox creatures, so this premise is right up his ballpark. And you can see that influence immediately in his visual approach to the film. The movie is beautiful, following the recent DreamWorks tradition of sacrificing realism to instead be more stylized and unique. A tradition I'm all for, I'd say. This can especially be seen in how the island is rendered. From the skies, the trees, the grass, and the leaves, they almost give the impression that they are hand-painted. It gives off both an abstract beauty, as well as a roughness that perfectly portrays the beauty and the danger of living in the wild. After all, one second you could be admiring the luscious sights and then the next, oh my god, it's a bear! This is a similar style to Sanders' work on Lilo & Stitch. The background scenery there was done using watercolor paint to bring Hawaii and its culture to life. This same visual philosophy comes through with the characters as well, especially Roz. She starts off all white and shiny, but it doesn't take long for her to get all dinged up, get a bit muddy, maybe lose and gain a few replacement parts. But as such, she adapts. That's what this movie's script most of all is about. Adaptation. Get it? Because this movie's an adaptation of a book. It's about how love allows us to change for the better to survive the darker moments of life. Sanders knows how to tell a bright and colorful story that is ultimately rooted with mature themes, never talking down to his audience, but rather exposes young eyes to some harsh realities of life. And honestly, what is more harsh than the wild? Wildlife ain't got no moral code, no ethics, no friendships. All it's got is the food chain. It's eat or be eaten, and that's all the animals on this island know. Bears are predators. Foxes are deceitful. Wasps are useless. Geese migrate and flightless runts like Bright Bill won't survive the winter. That's how things are, and that's how things always will be. Or, well, does it have to be? Maybe all these animals needed is a figure. One who is literally programmed to be an unfeeling, objective machine learning to become a careless and selfless mother to make them realize survival isn't just about doing what your nature tells you to be, but what your heart guides you to become. That's Roz's role in the story, to teach you that you can evolve and become whatever you want to be, whatever you need to be. Selfish foxes like Fink are capable of love, can even love their prey. Predators can get along with prey, and geese destined to die can indeed fly. And wasps are still useless. The movie's message is we are what we tell ourselves we are. We're ultimately in control of our own destinies. It's profound. It's relatable to everyone watching. And boy howdy did this movie make me cry like 2 times. That's what I especially look for in a good script. A solid theme that carries everything together, and this movie passes with flying colors. Yeah, sometimes in order to service the theme, the movie opens up a few plot holes where things don't make sense. Sometimes you have to wave certain things off with, it's the power of love, baby. And I swear this movie ended like 3 times. This movie could be a bit overindulgent at points where it has 3 different climaxes to wrap up 3 different plot points. But gee, I kinda don't care? Because I could live in this world for hours. I did not want it to end. The film is just fun. If the movie isn't inspiring you with silent, powerful moments of introspection, it's making you laugh with surprisingly dark and grim humor about death and surviving the wild. It helps inject a lot of charm and levity to the film. And it's all helped by amazing vocal performances. Lupita Nyong'o absolutely smashes it as Roz, knowing how to perfectly transition from a robotic, consumer-friendly voice to an emotional, vulnerable, three-dimensional being trying to figure out her own feelings and place in the world. You can even hear the robotic filter leave her voice as the film goes on. Kit Connor as the goose Bright Bill gives off a pretty good performance as well, knowing how to portray the socially awkward attitude of a bird raised by a robot, but knows how to deliver a solid emotional beat when needed. But a surprising MVP is Pedro freaking Pascal. Pedro pulls his weight to help elevate Fink from just another shifty Fox character who gives great laughs into just as much of an outcast as Roz. Oh, and if I hear Nick Wilde from any of you, I swear! He grapples almost with denial on if he deserves friendship when foxes are hated by the wildlife for being, well, shifty. And you can feel that loneliness in a performance that I dare say rivals some of Pascal's best live-action characters. I'm dead freaking serious. Even the music freaking cooks, man! Composer Chris Bowers of Bridgerton fame nails the one thing I want from a score. A memorable theme, a leitmotif that not only I will hum to long after the film is over, but knows just when and how to use it to give a scene that extra It's really good. All these elements, the visuals, the script, the voices, and the music come together to make a stellar movie that serves as the perfect final film for Dreamworks. What? Oh, right, I kind of forgot to mention that. Yeah, this is the last movie made by Dreamworks Animation, sorta. Did you know the studio is shutting down? Well, not entirely, but they'll be focusing more on pre-production and support work, while sending all the actual animation duties to outsourced studios like Microsoft Animation. Dogman, their next movie, for example, is just a Dreamworks movie because their name is on there. They ain't animating the thing. It's honestly really sad, but if the studio is to go down, at least they're going down with a movie so good, it rivals some of their best work, from Shrek 2 to The Prince of Egypt. And thus, Mindzai gives The Wild Robot 4 stars in writing, thanks to its use of wildlife and programming as a social allegory and an overwhelming amount of heart, only losing 1 star due to having like 3 different endings. 3.5 stars in characters. Roz and Fink steal the show, while Bright Bill and the other supporting characters don't have nearly as many shining moments for me to say, everyone here is spectacular. 4 stars in acting, with nobody giving a dud performance. Performances range from good to stellar. And 4.5 stars in imagination. Thanks to its visual styles and playing to the strengths that made Chris Sanders an animation legend, this is wholly his movie, and boy does he tell you. And that's a wrap. What did you think about The Wild Robot? Did you see it yet? You should. If you enjoyed this review, please let us know if we should keep doing these. Like, subscribe, and share with your friends, and maybe tell me what I should review next. And until next time, keep your mind's eye wide open. Oh, by the way, watch Transformers 1. Like, now. It's doing really bad at the box office and I need a sequel stat. Please, it's so good. Make a double feature with The Wild Robot or something. Just go and see it. Go, now. What are you waiting for? Watch the freaking movie!